Oh, why don't you blow way oh, come roll me over. Oh no! Greetings, programs. I'm Jacko. Welcome back to the gamification. Uh, this week, a lot more news as well. It's all really ramping up again now that things have been happening. What actually has been happening? New York Comic Con has been happening. That's what's been happening, and there's a lot of news coming out of that. A few new games things. So let's get into it with the first section. I like to call it new news. It's good news. Not always. Okay, so this was kind of a rumor, but it's been confirmed. Nintendo is planning a new Switch for 2019. An updated Switch, I guess it is. This is from GamesIndustry.biz. Nintendo will release an updated version of its Nintendo Switch console next year, reports the Wall Street Journal, and that's what makes it official to me. There was rumblings going on that they're going to do this, but now it's more likely to be happening thanks to Wall Street Journal. Okay, the business newspaper says that the upgrade may feature an improved LCD screen, but that an OLED screen is not being considered as the objective. As the objective is to make the device brighter, thinner, and more energy efficient. The new model is designed to maintain momentum for the console, which has faltered slightly in 2018. Though sales remain very strong, the Switch isn't surprising the market in the same way they did during its launch year. Is that really a surprise though? It's like, oh, our sales have leveled off and we weren't hoping for that. That's kind of a stupid way of thinking, isn't it? Where you expect the first year go, oh yeah, we'll grab onto it, or it'd fall flat. And then second year would either rise a little bit or more steadily. It won't go bang. But if it had a big high, then of course it's going to drop and level off a bit more than it did. Especially because the first year had such a huge intake. It just makes sense to me. The new upgrade is reportedly scheduled for late 2019, which is a surprise since all those new games are coming out early to mid 2019. So that was kind of a surprise. It's like, hey, let's get this hardware out later than is good for the sales timeline, I guess you could say, for the games. So you want new hardware with the new games. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. This isn't a huge surprise though for me, particularly because Nintendo has in the past upgraded its systems, even going all the way back to the original Game Boy. If they're treating the Switch like a more of a handheld system, like the Game Boy had the big block kind of Game Boy, and then you had the Game Boy Pocket, and then the Game Boy Color, and they were smaller, shrunk down versions, improved a little bit hardware, had a little bit of an increase there. But and then like obviously even the Game Boy Advance, the DS, which had DS Lite, DSi, and DSi XL, the 3DS obviously, where it had the 2DS, the 3DS, 3DS XL with the better battery, better screens, and whatnot. So this isn't a huge surprise, but to say that, yeah, we're actually doing it, awesome. News number 2. Netflix renews the Dragon Prince for a second season. So if you saw last week's episode, I talked about the Dragon Prince, how it was a rendition, I guess you could say, of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Aaron Ehas, who was one of the head writers on that show, is writing and producing this series. The series is kind of based more on Western mythology. I wouldn't say mythology, more mysticism, stuff like that, Western magic. instead of like Eastern philosophies and whatnot like that. So I say give it a go. It's like that 3D cel shaded style. Action scenes are great. Some of the talking scenes are a bit off. Characters are decent enough to really get you through it, but a couple of them like really do hard switches. Like the king was like, "Yeah, I'm a generous king" and stuff like that. But then in the last time you see him, he becomes like a real asshole. Like your place is on your knees, serving the kingdom, serving me. And I'm like, where'd that turn come from? There's one cool character, I can't remember her name, but she's like a leader in the army, the kingdom's army and stuff. But she's a mute, and she actually does all the sign language. I don't actually know sign language, so I'm sorry. But that was really cool. They incorporated that to say, hey, like the disabilities don't define people or not. Anyway, she was cool. I really liked it. The announcement was made at New York Comic Con, where Netflix has brought many of its original series. There aren't too many details about the second season available just yet. There's no specific premiere date for the Dragon Prince second season, but we expect more information and a teaser trailer in the months to come. Oh, this is from Polygon.com as well. So yeah, not a huge one there, but I thought it was worth pointing out. News number 3, and it's a doozy. Oh boy, Star Wars news. Jon Favreau's live-action Star Wars TV series is finally in production, and they announced it. Jon Favreau on Instagram or something tweeted out the synopsis and what's happening, and then on StarWars.com they put out the next day. They put out an official thingamabob article. Yeah, that's what you call it, isn't it? So let's have a look at that. No, that's not it. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. All right. Production on the first Star Wars live-action streaming series has begun. After the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. So I'd say it'd be like within the first 6 to 10 years after Return of the Jedi. We follow the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. So he's a lone gunslinger. So I'd say it's more of a Western take. It could be... Anyway, I'll get into it later. Let me finish this thing. The series will be written and executive produced by Emmy-nominated producer and actor Jon Favreau, as previously announced, with Dave Filoni, who did the Star Wars Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, directing the first episode. And this, I just want to stop it here for a moment as a sidebar. Dave Filoni, great director in Star Wars and Clone Wars and Rebels and whatnot. I'm so glad that he's getting his shot at live action, because if he does good on this, that means he will get more experience in live action stuff. Therefore, give us a Star Wars movie with Dave Filoni directing, and damn son, that's gonna be awesome, because he ties everything into. He's well versed with the creative side. He ties all the stories together. Especially if you've watched Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, you see the tie-ins there. Just a sec. I hope. Just a second. Okay, that was nothing. Yeah, so he's really well versed, especially because he's like the protege of George Lucas. He knows George's way of thinking. He can really get those proper Star Wars stories told. I guess you could say the way they're meant to be told, but also he has a plan. He can plan out long-term projects and have them tie into other stuff. So the like what I'm saying, canon matters to him, and therefore it matters to me. Because yeah, it's good when everything works and when it just gels right. That's when Star Wars works really good. Okay, so coming back to it, directed the first episode. Additional episode directors include Deborah Chow, who's worked on Jessica Jones, Rick Famuyiwa from Dove. I'm sorry I mispronounced that. Bryce Dallas Howard from Soulmates, and Taika Waititi, our old New Zealand director who did Thor Ragnarok, What We Do in the Shadows and all that. He's more of a comedic director, I guess you could say. Fantastic. That was a huge surprise. I'm like, wow, okay, Taika Waititi, sure, in Star Wars. It will be executive produced by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson. I think Colin Wilson did Clone Wars, like he produced on Clone Wars and Rebels as well. Tell me wrong though, I'm not confident with that. Karen Gilchrist will serve as co-executive producer. Stay tuned for StarWars.com. Yeah, as you saw just down below there, they also put out a picture. Oh boy! Woo! That looks so sweet. So that's the Mandalorian. He's definitely got a very similar vibe to what we've seen before. Different armor though. The like Boba Fett Jango's armor is like shorter shoulder pads and whatnot. But yeah, it definitely looks like either this could be what planned. Okay. What plan do you think this is going to be on? Because from what I see, it could be Mandalore, but the architecture is like also outer rim, so it could be like Tatooine, or maybe Mimban or something. Who knows? Yeah, it's very outer rim. It looks like when you see Mos Eisley, it looks like that kind of architecture, but it could be another place altogether. Very cool. Also, I wanted to show the I saw this, I found this on Facebook or something, the comparison with so the one on the top left says Star Wars Holiday Special. That was the original Boba Fett when he was originally announced. So the gun he's using, that was his gun kind of thing, with that rifle. And Star Wars 1313, that was going to be possibly Boba Fett or something. That was their cancelled game back in 2014. They cancelled that, I believe. That was going to be like the seedy underbelly of Coruscant and whatnot. And it's just doing a comparison there. They've taken a lot of the assets from previous stuff into the new canon, so Legends never dies. Okay, I just want to, yeah, Star Wars, awesome. I'm so excited for it. Live action, that's coming to the Disney Play, which is the live streaming service Disney is doing. I believe that's the late 2019. So tell me what you guys think, if you're excited for this, if you're wary. What do you think of some of these directors? Do you know some of their work? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to know some of your opinions. News number 4. Footage of AAA Harry Potter RPG leaked. This is from criticalhit.net. I want to say first, this title sounds like a rumor title, and you're right. It was a rumor, but they showed some footage, and I won't show the footage because Warner Brothers is cracking down on that like no one's business. So I'll put a link in the description below, so if you're up for it, have a look at Critical Hit, and they'll have the video there. But Warner Brothers is cracking down, so it'll be quick. Okay, so I'll read the article first. We've since seen a few Harry Potter games, including the recently released free-to-play mobile game Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Next year, Pokemon Go developer Niantic will also release their own Harry Potter Wizards Unite! That's not exactly what fans have been asking for though. Given the rich lore and Harry Potter universe, the Harry Potter universe would be right for a AAA RPG epic, and it looks like that's coming. Spotted over at Press Start, there's leaked footage of an impending Harry Potter RPG by way of a focus tester who very obviously broke an NDA. The video shows off a few locations, characters, spells, and monsters from the Harry Potter universe being developed by Avalanche Studios. Not the Avalanche Studios that makes Just Cause. This is Avalanche Software, I believe it is, that did like the Disney Infinity games, and was a and Warner Brothers bought them last year, so hence the Warner Brothers trying to keep this all top secret and whatnot. Okay, so here's they put a descriptor. The focus group guy that broke the NDA, he's like apparently he put up an explanation of it. It's got a lot of spelling mistakes, so bear with me. Set in the 19th century, 1800s, Wizarding World, this third-person open-world action RPG game centers around your character with unique abilities who is entered, it says eared, a late acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You are a newly arrived 5th year student, so like a transfer student or something. Pardon me. That demonstrates a latent gift for magic with a unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent ancient power. Oh, pardon me, what's with me? Upon arrival, strange events begin to materialize in the Forbidden Forest, and trouble begins to brew within the castle walls. Together with Professor Eliza Fig, I believe, I don't know. You embark on a journey through both familiar and never before seen locations to bring to light the truth behind these mysterious occurrences. On your quest, you will craft potions, master new spells, and discover fantastical beasts. You will battle Dark Lords, goblins, and other supernatural enemies and uncover the truth about your destiny. The fate of the wizarding world lies in your hands. If there's something to do with a big Disney thing, I want to say it's got to do something with the Peveril brothers. So it could be related to Harry's bloodline or something. You know, the Deathly Hallows stuff. The three brothers, if you don't know that story. So this was a rumor, and they showed some footage. So we're like, oh, it could be, couldn't be, we don't know. But I wanted to show off. Eurogamer had an update. That showed off a tweet. Hang on. Okay. Lizo Mzimba, who works in England, I believe, on the BBC or something, I can't remember. Is it just? I'm told this is from yet to be announced RPG currently titled Harry Potter Magic Awakened, though other titles include Magic Forever are also in the mix. Other Potter games will also be on the way. Yeah, BBC News reporter and renowned Potter fan Lizo Mzimba. So this seems more like a lot more reliable confirmation that the game is happening, and it looks fantastic. I can't recommend you guys watching that trailer because it shows a lot of action. Your spells look cool, like when you wave your wand, like it's like almost like the movies. There's a good motion capture to it. I want to say. Okay, that's it for the news. Now we go on to the next segment I call that's right, the poorly animated segment, What's on the Nose Board. So I wanted to obviously New York Comic Con's been going on, so we got some new stuff happening, new trailers and whatnot. First off, new Star Wars books and comics were announced at New York Comic Con. So first up, there was like 3 announcements that they had for that. First up, there's a 5-issue comic coming from the author Chuck Wendig, who did the Aftermath trilogy. If you haven't, that's pretty much like straight after Return of the Jedi and onwards a bit, like just before Ben's born, Ben Solo. So, but it had not much to do with the original trilogy characters, or some of Han and Leia, but not. You don't see anything from Luke. Chewie freezes people on Kashyyyk and whatnot. That was cool. But okay, so I just want to mention that because the comic's called Shadow of Vader. Each issue of the Marvel miniseries will follow a different character or group, including for one issue, Acolytes of the Beyond. And in the Chuck Wendig's trilogy, they were dark side worshippers, or fanatics or whatnot. They collected dark side attached artifacts and whatnot. They thought they had Vader's lightsaber. But that was unconfirmed, I guess you could say, and they collected the helmets and stuff. There was one girl who had a Darksider's helmet, and it made her more irrational and erratic and aggressive and whatnot because of the imbued Darkside energies in that helmet. So with that, like, they take pieces and they try and make themselves more powerful with these artifacts. So they're also known as like Vader worshippers. And they'll kind of associate with Palpatine. Well, their leader he was kind of like a dark side, like a dark side advisor, I guess you could say. And so therefore, and they're his followers. So they're showing that off and showing other things like if Vader had. Let's continue reading. Including one issue, Acolytes will be on a week group, brief but and reflect on how encounters with the titular Dark Lord of the Sith. So, okay, Shadow of Vader. Each issue of the Marvel miniseries will follow a different character or group and reflect on how encounters with the titular Dark Lord of the Sith affected their lives. So it kind of seems like if you've read the book Tales of Luke Skywalker, where people talk legends or possible truths or whatnot about some of his feats that he's done being a Jedi. This could be like a mirror of that, where people have encountered Vader, seen some of the crazy stuff he's done, but also all the horror and death and whatnot that follows him. And instead of giving hope to people like Luke does, Vader's influence creates a lot of fear. This is just me spitballing, really, assuming things. So this could be interesting, especially with Acolytes of the Beyond. What is their relationship with Vader, if they have any at all? That would be interesting to see for me, especially, because I really like that trilogy. Okay, so Alexander Freed is putting out a book out called Alphabet Squadron, Rebel Pilots Hunting Down Imperials. So it might be also, we don't know any other information besides that, but it could be something to do with after Return of the Jedi as well, setting that scene where the rebels are taking more action, taking a step forward. They've got that victory in their sights kind of thing, and they're taking out. They're actually targeting Imperial stations and whatnot, and getting a foothold in the galaxy rather than the Imperials striking back, so to speak. This could be cool. I don't know. There's not much to say with it. In the early days of the New Republic era, after Return of the Jedi's 5 pilots form a group to hunt down rogue Imperial elements. Sorry, there is stuff to talk about. Is a time period we still don't know a lot about. Okay. So, they're hunting down rogue Imperials that are creating trouble for the New Republic, I guess you could say. Okay, so the third one in this a little bit is they finally have a cover for the Qui-Gon Obi-Wan book, which was called Master and Apprentice. Okay, so let's have a look at that. If it loads. Curse my crappy internet. Okay, here we go. Finally revealed the amazing cover of Claudia Gray, Star Wars Master and Apprentice, coming April 2019. There we go. Can I make that? There we go. That's it. Look at that's actually pretty good artwork. That reminds me of the Jedi Apprentice series by Jude Watson. The art style on the covers looks similar to that, and that's cool. Alright. Let's get on to the next little switch. Aquaman has an extended video that they've put up. They're trying to show a bit more of the movies, tell you what it's about. It goes for 5 minutes and 17 seconds, and that's long. A lot of people were commenting on YouTube going, alright, seen the movie, now just roll the credits. Because yeah, there's a lot to it. Some of it was not necessary. It was because it's an extended video. It wasn't really a trailer, but it was kind of like at the intro they had a trailer, and then partway through they just showed a big clip. That was kind of like a Uncharted 3 Indiana Jones kind of scenario, and then they cut back into another trailer, which was weird. Check it out. I'll put a link down in the description below. Okay. Rumors abound. There was only one big one besides that Harry Potter one, I guess you could call it, that I wanted to talk about. This is from Jason Schreier at Kotaku. Developers of multiplayer games tell Kotaku that they're preparing for PlayStation Network name changes to finally come soon. Woo! Finally, after all this time. 3 people at 3 different game studios speaking anonymously because they were not authorized to talk to press, said that in recent months they've been fixing bugs, tweaking things, ensuring that the games are compatible with Sony's plans. A 4th person who worked for a game studio shared a photo obtained from internal Sony documentation of a PSN profile containing the option Edit Username. The documentation was a guide for changing one's name on the PlayStation Network, that person said. So yeah, this is from Jason Schreier. Changing PSN usernames, finally. We've asked for this for so long. For some reason their infrastructure just wouldn't allow it, because it's tied to the game library, the purchasing and whatnot. It doesn't have a unique identifying code with the game. It's directly connected to your usernames, which is weird. Yeah, awesome, fantastic news for PlayStation people. All those usernames we've regretted since the early days, or just not to do with us anymore. We finally get to reinvent our PlayStation selves, I guess you could say. Alright, that's it for no sports stuff. Now on to games out this week. There wasn't much. I had to go back to last week a little bit. Oh no, I didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't, because I just went to other sources instead. GameSpot let me down. Alright, first up, Air Missions Hind on PS4, Medical Verdict on PC, Worms WMD Nintendo Switch. This was just for Europe for this week, so I'm not sure if it's already out, US and Australia and whatnot. It could be, so let me know if it is already out, or it's coming out possibly next week, or sometime this month, possibly. Astrobot Rescue Mission on PSVR. Almost said piss there. Forza Horizon 4 on Xbox One and PC for their play anyway. Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise on PS4. Mega Man 11. A lot of people saying great things about this. Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch would be a great place to play Mega Man, in my opinion. Okay, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. A lot of people saying good things about that game as well. I haven't played it yet. I'm after Spider-Man. I need to take a break from all the large. Ugh, my hair's all gross. Pardon me. After the so Spider-Man, it was a big RPG, action game, I guess I could say. But I just needed a break from all those big titles. I'll play a few little games in the meantime. Might have a review up next month, maybe. We'll see. No promises, but there's plenty of reviews out there. Tell me what you guys think of the game if you're already playing it. I'd love to hear from you guys. Is it different? Is it much different from Origins? Does it have First Civilization lore or story stuff? That's what I want to know about. So let me know, guys. I appreciate it. Super Mario Party, the Friend Killer on Nintendo Switch. Looks fun. A lot of different changes to their game systems from what I've seen from Let's Plays on the internet. Thank you, Kind of Funny Games. So that's it. Anything from the news? Please let me know if I've missed anything, or if you want to talk more about those stuff. Love to know. Love to hear from you guys. Love to read from you guys. That'd be fantastic as well. Leave comments down below. Also, hit me up on my Twitter, Twitch. Do I have Twitch? Yeah. At the gamification, but I'm not using Twitch at the moment. It's just I had to keep that account. Hit me up on the Facebook group as well, the gamification. Love to get you guys to join up there. We have a whole 20 members, and I'm so glad for that. Thanks, guys, for sticking around for as long as you have. That's it for me today. End of line.